Are you constantly losing control of your emotions? If you want to learn how to manage them, this video is for you. Being out of control emotionally is not something that you need to struggle with anymore. I'm going to offer you 5 simple techniques to better control your emotions through self-regulation. You can try to spend your entire life avoiding or repressing your emotions. You only end up reactive and explosive to the point where you just boil over. I'm going to show you how to be responsive and poised when it comes to your emotions. Most of us have absolutely no clue how to self-regulate or even what it is. Ultimately, people are always triggering us, almost like it's their job. But as adults, we have to take accountability to learn the tools that we need that maybe we didn't receive in childhood to step out of survival mode and into thriving mode. We're stepping away from repressing and avoiding our emotions and into a space of more acceptance and compassion. True self-regulation isn't about force or control. It's about alignment, tuning into our inner compass, listening to our emotions instead of fighting them. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Amanda Haynes. If you're new here, happy to have you. This channel is all about overcoming challenges, self-mastery, and building resilience. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you'd like to experience more content like this, and subscribe to the channel if you like the vibe. I'm super excited to dive in on this topic because I believe that we all need tools because we all experience some sort of stimulus from the outside world that is causing an emotional response within us. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what self-regulation actually is, and I'm going to offer you 5 fresh steps in how to master your emotions through self-regulation on the path to creating unshakable inner peace, no matter what's happening around you. Being a former registered nurse and having absolutely no tools to cope with the emotional dysregulation I felt in the field, I eventually burned out and ended up quitting after 5 years. One thing I've noticed along my journey is in each job that I've worked throughout my life, whether it was bartending, nursing, property management, it didn't matter. They all had one common denominator, and that was my inability to self-regulate. I came to really notice the effect that this had on my well-being while working for a property management company and realizing how overwhelmed I was in this role. I thought that getting out of nursing would be a breeze and that every other role I experienced after that would be cushy. But it turns out we take us with us everywhere we go. So my inability to cope in nursing translated right on over to this property management job. What I truly came to learn in working in this role, because around this time I also got sober from alcoholism. So instead of being able to escape after work feeling like, oh, I just need a drink, because I no longer had the ability to escape my feelings, essentially, I had to start sitting with my feelings. What I came to discover was you take you with you everywhere you go. So if you lack the tools in one scenario, whether it's a relationship, a job, it's not going to matter if you change environments or change geographical locations. You still take your inability to cope with your feelings with you. So I've had to learn firsthand. I know exactly what it's like being unable to manage your emotions and suppressing and avoiding them. If you don't know how to manage your emotions, if you feel overwhelmed, if you're always experiencing conflict, no matter where you go or what you do, if you can't seem to find joy, happiness, and inner peace, Stick with me. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Your emotions are your inner guide on how to stay balanced. When things become stressful or overwhelming, instead of reacting impulsively, letting the emotions take over, self-regulation gives you the ability to pause. It allows you to reflect on what's happening and choose your response with intention. At its core, it's about being aware of how you feel and understanding what triggers those feelings. So once you recognize that, you get to decide how to act in a way that supports your well-being. It's essentially a skill. And as we all know, a skill is the ability to perform a specific activity with competence. So it's this emotional skill. It's this coping skill that you're learning. It's a skill that helps you stay calm during conflict. It keeps you focused when distractions come up and resilient when you're faced with challenges. Self-regulation is not about suppressing emotions, but rather learning to work with them. It keeps you aligned with your best self. Okay, first and foremost, the step to self-regulating. Remember, that's managing your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Number one is recognize the signals. You can't change something that you're not aware of. Becoming aware is one of the first steps to changing anything. Forget trying to control your emotions immediately. The first sign is to recognize the signs that the body sends through emotion. So maybe it's a tight chest, maybe you hold tension in your shoulders, a clenching jaw, or a lump in your throat. These are all signals. They're signals that your body is telling you that something is off. So instead of resisting it, lean into it. Acknowledge the message. Don't silence it or try to repress it, because I promise you, it will come back stronger. It may take a while, but it will. Step two, pause, don't react. Okay, so step one was recognize the signal that your body is sending you. Step two is pause, don't react. When we're triggered and these strong emotions come up, our first response is typically to react. We're so quick to react. I'm guilty of it too. But it's often a habit. This was something that has been done over and over and over again. We feel an emotion and we react. And this is how we've lived our lives. This is how our role models, our parents, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, our guardians, anyone who's raised us, they have this same habit too. It's unconscious reaction. So the next time that you're triggered, instead of reacting, pause. This isn't about suppression. It's about giving yourself space. Holding space for the emotion that you're experiencing, for that signal that your body is giving you. So what you're gonna do is breathe. I know you've probably heard this 1,000 times. Count to 10, count to 3, take a deep belly breath. These are all techniques that are allowing you space. When there is no space, the experience is crowded with our emotion. And when we react emotionally from this unconscious place, we end up creating an undesirable scenario, whether it's lashing out at someone, walking off of a commitment we've made, whatever the case may be. We need to create space. So you breathe, count, whatever you need to do, process, let the room breathe, let the situation breathe, roll it through your mind, hold space for the other person's perspective. When you're able to breathe and process, you respond with clarity and not emotionally or immaturely. And in that pause is where self-mastery begins. Trust me. Step 3, we've become aware of the emotion via the signal our body gives us. We've paused before we reacted. Now it's time to reframe the experience. We have a habit of labeling emotions. We tend to label them as good or bad. Typically, anger is bad and joy is good. But instead of judging the emotion or labeling the emotion, ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? Emotions, even the difficult ones, are teachers. They're showing us something. So shift your mindset from judgment to curiosity. And this is how you break free of the patterns that are keeping you stuck. This is tough work, you guys. It seems foreign, and you may be having some resistance to what I'm saying, and that's totally natural. But in order to overcome your patterns and the cycles that you're stuck in, you're going to have to build some resilience. You're going to have to build some frustration tolerance. Otherwise, you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And it sucks to be stuck in a cycle. I know what that's like. I was stuck in a decade-long binge drinking cycle. I know exactly what it's like to experience the same things over and over again, and I know how it doesn't feel good. It robs you of your inner peace. It robs you of your joy. And in this lifetime, you deserve peace. You deserve joy, but it's not given to you. It's something you have to seek. It's something you have to desire for yourself. You have to desire inner peace more than you desire revenge. You have to desire inner peace more than you desire to be right. You have to desire peace more than you desire holding on to your resentments. Step 4. So now we're going to set a grounding intention. Self-regulation is not all about handling tough moments. It's about setting an intention for how we show up in the world, how we show up at work, how we show up in our relationships. So take a moment each day and ground in an intention. Maybe it's I choose peace today. Maybe it's I choose to remain centered. Whatever intention you have for managing your emotions, set the intention at the beginning of the day. Because when you set a compass daily, you're able to navigate emotional turbulence with ease. If you have no intention, if you have no compass, how do you know where you're going? You're basically just living by default. And whatever comes to your plate is what you tackle. But the thing is in creating a new habit, you have to set the intention for what you want to experience. So it would be like, if I want to lose weight, I'm going to set the intention to watch what I eat. If I want to experience inner peace, I'm going to set the intention to choose peace over everything. It's a choice. Step 5, practice radical self-compassion. You have to remember you are a human being. You're human. Some days you'll get it right. I promise you, you will. Other days you won't. And that's okay. Self-regulation isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Embrace your journey with the most kindness and compassion for yourself. This is where true resilience and self-mastery are born. So these are the 5 steps to self-regulating your emotions. If you're experiencing any resistance to anything that I said, ask yourself, why? You have to be curious about yourself. You have to be curious about this voice inside of your head that wants to derail you from your progress, from your best self. Because maybe that voice in your head that's resisting or is leading you astray is trying to keep you stuck. Is trying to keep you stagnant, because stagnancy is familiar. Stuckness is familiar. The same cycles are familiar. That's why it's so tough to break, because it's a comfort zone. It's the devil that you know, but that gets you nowhere. So just ask yourself, all I'm saying, there's any resistance to this. So self-regulation isn't about controlling or shutting down your emotions. It's about listening, learning, and leading with awareness. It's about recognizing your emotional signals and pausing before reacting, reframing your experiences, setting daily intentions, and practicing self-compassion. In doing these things, you'll begin to master your emotions. This practice empowers you rather than restricts you. You're not here just to survive your emotions. You're here to master them. Okay, I want to hear from you. What's it like navigating your emotions? What have you been experiencing? Can you relate to my story of escapism or of boiling over to the point that you explode? Do you feel well equipped with this information to be able to move forward in an empowered way to self-regulate your emotions? with this information. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know where you are on your journey. If this resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more content on mastering your emotions and embracing your full potential. Let's continue this journey one step at a time. And remember, you got this.